Alright, so as many of you already know, my name's Dan. This is Michelle, Stephanie, and Zach with a K now. Our main goal today is to convince our audience, which are students who commute to Sac State, to implement this new policy. Now, this new policy will also benefit Sac State students as a whole. So I'm sure some of you are wondering, what is this new policy? Well, according to a survey which we sent out to everyone here on Sac CT, and I'm sure all of you are thinking, what is this Sac CT? I don't know. I've been going here for years and I don't know what that is. What is he talking about? But for those of you that did fill out the survey, thank you. And from the survey, we found that 70% of the students that filled out the survey, they not only live outside of Sacramento, but they drive to Sac State. So we decided to come up with this. Introducing Shotgun. It's a CSUS carpool network. And easily enough, what it does is basically it gives other students other ways of finding other Sac State students of who lives by you. So that way you can say, hey, can I carpool with you? And it's as easy as that. The best example I could give is I live in Yuba City. Is there anyone else here that lives in Yuba City or around there? Oh, great. I didn't even know you guys live there. So what Shotgun does is it notifies you and lets you know, hey, Dan lives around you. He's a comms major, and he's a cool guy. Here's his number. He's a really cool guy. Here's his number. Here's his email, and you can contact him if you want to carpool. And it's as simple as that. Now, what this does is it enables students to not only meet other students, but it makes people become active in having a cleaner and healthier environment for Sac State because it reduces the number of cars. Now, this is very similar to what is called Dean's List, and that's a housing referral website that Sac State uses. And with Dean's List, they use that for housing, obviously, so if you're looking for a roommate, that's a great place to find one. I actually spoke to Lisa Klinkelhammer. It's a weird name, but she's a representative of Dean's List, and she told me that she wishes there was something for students that commute to Sac State similar to Dean's List, and well, Shotgun, that's the solution. So first, Michelle is going to talk about the logistics, then Zach with the K is going to talk about the funding, and finally, Stephanie over here is going to talk about the enforcement of Shotgun. And that sounds like we're at a National Rifle Association meeting, but we're not. And so let's give a warm welcome to Michelle. Right?
Alright, so let's talk about some logistics. First of all, what is this? Dan's kind of gone over it. Basically, it's a system that we want to install through the CSU, through our CSU, which will allow fellow students to find other students in their area. This is also based on other things such as their majors, such as the year they are in college, where even sex for women like us, it's kind of, we may feel uncomfortable with a male rather than a female, so we have that option as well. It includes all these different things, even including interest. So what it does is you go on the website and you have to enter in your Sac State ID. When you do this, you enter it in and you have to accept the terms and conditions, which include the fact that you obviously have to be a student. You have to have a valid driver's license. We did talk about ensuring that you have insurance, but it'd just be too hard to regulate. It's something that we decided to leave out, but obviously is important to have. Anyway, and so, goddamn. Sorry, I'm nervous. To have a license and you have to be a student. So once you accept those terms and conditions, you can go ahead and utilize it. So the question is, why? Why do it? First of all, according to the Sac State Fact Book, actually 94.1% of the students commute to Sac State. This means that we can help up to 24,028 students at our school. Also, there's a program that's similar to this. It's called ZimRide. It was made by Butte College, in which they said in 2007 they did a study on how it's going so far, and they said that they actually used 11,636 less gallons of gas, and they also have reduced 247,058 pounds of CO2 emissions. And this is just for Butte College. Can you imagine what we could do, and if we were to send this out to all the other CSUs? It'd be phenomenal. So the one thing is that ZimRide actually does too much. It allows faculty and staff to use it as well. We think that that will cause a conflict of interest, and so we're going to go ahead and say that only students are allowed to do that. Also, they let you commute to other places besides the state, or besides the college, which actually we decided maybe that's a little too much as well. We want to keep it more Sac State based, so it's commuting to and from school. And also, our opposition may ask, well, why don't you just take the bus? Well, Professor Christopher Maven from Sacramento State University, a communications professor, let us know that the bus isn't always the greatest thing to take. In fact, he called the bus, the people who ride the bus people, and explained how one time he saw people getting their hair cut on there. Unless you need a haircut, that's not generally something you want to go in and see. So, you know, why have students deal with this malarkey whenever there's such a better option? And lastly, on the dean's list, which he spoke about, it says in the terms and conditions that you use this at your sole risk. We feel that this doesn't do enough. We feel that this leaves them us open to our liabilities, which includes unlawful actions and violations that they just simply are like, we're not liable for it. So we decided to take a more proactive approach. And by doing this, we're saying that we're going to have people do background checks. And because of this, we'll be able to ensure our student safety, which is obviously very important. Lastly, money. People think that, oh God, it's a new policy, it's going to cost so much money. In reality, it actually saves us a ton of money, which is something that Zach's going to go over. And I know as students, we want to avoid any costs we can, so